Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 2009-10 hockey season replay on the channel. Block 26 tonight takes us to the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, for this matchup between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Calgary Flames. We'll take a quick look at the standings here. In the Atlantic Division, the Penguins are running away with that division at 31 wins, 10 losses, and 6 overtime losses, good for 68 points on the season. As for Calgary, they're in the Northwest Division, 21 wins, 23 losses, and 2 overtime losses, good for 40 points, or 44 points. They're in third place, 7 behind Edmonton. So Calgary looking to improve on their standings as we're starting to close in on the playoffs. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself on that one. So, without any let's not waste a lot of time because I got a little bit of a late start tonight. So, let's remember to bring my play chart over, and we'll jump right into the action. Face-offs are +2 to Pittsburgh. In 18, there will be an inferior win. That'll go over to the inferior right defenseman White for Calgary, and we're off to start the first period. He will lose that right over to Orpik. Orpik with it now for Pittsburgh. Opponent defense 9. White will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He's going to let that go from the point. That's a 6. Save made and right back over to Orpik. Orpik with it for Pittsburgh. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot only for Reger. Reger for Calgary, letting that go from the point. That's a 9. Save made and over to Guerin. Guerin for Pittsburgh. Looking at passing D. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Stahan. Stahan's going to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Crosby. Crosby for Pittsburgh. Crosby looking at opponent defense 9. Stahan will take the puck away. Outside shot only. He'll let that go from the point after gaining the zone. That's a 6. Save made back over to Crosby. Crosby with it. Inside shot for anybody. He's going to take that himself. Stahan will try to intimidate. That's a 2. Stahan will take the puck away for Calgary. Stahan with it. Opponent defense 5. Crosby will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to let that one go from the point. That's a 12. Save made and over to Bork. Bork for Calgary. Looking at opponent defense 6. That'll be an outside shot for Stahan. Stahan's going to make a pass. Passing J. That'll be an inside shot for Iginla. Oh boy. That's a 5. Save made and over to Orpik for Pittsburgh. Orpik's got it. Looking at opponent defense 4. White. That'll be an inside shot for Crosby. White will try to intimidate. White will intimidate. He'll take the puck away from Crosby. Looking at passing F. That'll be an outside shot for Bork. Bork is going to try to make a pass. He will lose the puck. Defensive right D has control. That's Gonchar. Just in time for a forwards line change. Gonchar's got it for Pittsburgh. I was just looking for where we were at. Lose the puck. Inside shot for anybody. Opponent can try to intimidate. They'll give that inside shot to Hagman. Fedotenko will try to intimidate. He'll take the puck away, but a possible penalty. 1-12, no penalty. That's a 5, no penalty. Fedotenko's got it for Pittsburgh. Opponent defense 2. Hagman will take the puck away with an outside shot. Hagman's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Langkow. Langkow will let that go from the slot. That's a 6. Save made and over to Malkin. Malkin for Pittsburgh. Lose the puck and a possible breakaway. Left D if the breakaway penetration rating is 4. It is not, so Gonchar will have control of that for Pittsburgh. Outside shot only for anybody. Gonchar will take that himself. 7. Save made and over to Langkow. Langkow with it for Calgary. Opponent defense 8. Malkin will take the puck away with an outside shot only. Malkin will let that go from the point. That's a 3. Save made and over to Kotelik, and we've got a defenseman line change. Kodelik with it for Calgary. Possible breakaway. Oh boy. Right wing, if the breakaway penetration rating is 3 or more. Kodelik is a 3. He's in on Johnson alone for Pittsburgh. Let's see what Kodelik can do with it. 12. Save made and over to Malkin. Malkin getting back. Johnson making a huge stop, and he'll redirect it over to Malkin. Malkin with it for Pittsburgh. Opponent defense 3. That'll be an inside shot for Ponikarovsky. Right D. Giordano will try to intimidate. He won't intimidate. Ponikarovsky will let that inside shot go. That's an 8. Uh-oh. That's a rebound chance. Defense, any player with a defense rating 3 or more. Bouwmeester's a 4. He will have that for Calgary. Opponent defense 1. Letang will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. Passing K. That'll be an inside shot for Malkin. Malkin's going to let that go from the slot. That's an 8. That's another rebound chance. Kiprusoff almost got into trouble. Offensive left D, if offense rating 2 or more. It is not. Giordano will have that for Calgary. He'll lose that over to Eaton. Eaton for Pittsburgh. Passing E. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for the left wing. That is Hagman. Hagman's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Kodelik. Kodelik will let that go from the slot. That's an 8. Uh-oh. That's a rebound chance. Defensive right D, defense rating 3 or more. Letang's a 2. Bouwmeester will have a rebound shot. Bouwmeester will let that go. That's a 5. Save made and over to Letang. Just in time for a forwards line change to end the first. Our last shift change of the first period coming up. As Letang's got it for Pittsburgh. Looking at opponent defense 5. Over to Bouwmeester. He'll take the puck away with an outside shot. Bouwmeester's going to try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Stahl. Stahl with it for Pittsburgh. Opponent defense 1. Conroy will take the puck away with an inside shot. Kennedy will try to intimidate. Kennedy will intimidate. He'll take the puck away for Pittsburgh. Kennedy with it for the Penguins. Passing D will be an outside shot for Stahl. Stahl's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Cook. Cook will let that go from the point or from the slot. That's a 9. That's a goalie rating on Kiprusoff. 7 and 9 are bad numbers. That's a 7. Score! Matt Cook gives the Penguins a 1-0 lead late in the first. Arena groans. Ugh. Cook, that'll be from Stahl and Kennedy. As the Penguins now lead 1-0. Players will come back to center ice for the next face-off. Face-offs right now are even. 13 on an even face-off. That'll be a visitor win over to Eaton, and we're off once again for the Penguins. Passing F for Eaton. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Conroy. Conroy's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Dawes. Dawes will let that go from the slot. That's a 9. That's a goalie rating on Johnson. 7, 9, and 11 are bad numbers. That's a 10. Save made by Johnson, and he'll give that to Kennedy. Kennedy for Pittsburgh. We'll lose that over to Dawes. Dawes with it now. Passing D. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Cook. Cook's going to try to make a pass. Passing L. He'll lose that right back over to Dawes. Dawes will intercept that pass. Opponent defense 3. Looking at Kennedy. He'll take the puck away with an outside shot. Kennedy will try to make a pass. Inside shot for Cook. Cook's already got 1 on the night. Let's see what he can do here. That's a 2. That's a goalie rating on Kiprusoff. That's a 10. Rebound chance. Offensive lefty, offense rating 3 or more. It is not. Giordano will have control of that for Calgary. Calgary looking for the equalizer. Losing the puck. Outside shot only for Eaton. Eaton will let that go from the point. That's a 9. He'll lose that over to Dawes. Dawes will get in front of that one. Passing E for Dawes. That'll be an outside shot for Mayers. Mayers will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck. Stahl in control of it for Pittsburgh. He'll lose that back over to Conroy, but that's the horn to end the first period. Pittsburgh getting out of the first period with a 1-0 lead. As the teams will go back into the locker room, mostly happy with how the period went, although Calgary does need to convert on more of their chances. Pull this up before I reset the decks. Our next game is going to be a doozy, but I'll talk more about that when this block of action is when we get to the third period. When we're getting ready for the third period of this game, I'll have more on what that doozy is going to look like for tomorrow night. But as usual, I'm getting everything ready for the second period of this game. I can pick up noise from the dishwasher, but thankfully not much. So hopefully it's not coming through too badly for you guys on the background noise. And hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Thursday night hockey action here on the channel. We'll also have a product unboxing tonight to wrap up tonight's action. Because I did get a delivery in earlier this afternoon that was waiting for me when I got home from work, so we'll see to that a little bit later. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defensemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just going to adjust some of the cards real quick. I think everything looks good there. So let's jump right into the second period of this game. Face-offs are +2 to Pittsburgh. A 15 will be an inferior win. That'll go over to Bork, and we're off and running to start the second. Opponent defense 9. That'll be a penalty on Guerin. 1, 2, 3. And the power play is going to be a 6. Checking the right defenseman's defense rating. He is not a 4. So that'll be an inside shot for the left wing. Good thing it's already on Bork for an inside shot. That's a 4. That's a goalie rating on Johnson. That's an 8. That'll be a save. And the 6 is a rebound shot for Stahan. Stahan with a rebound. That's a 7. That'll be lost over to the defensive right wing. Then that'll kill the penalty off. Arena groans. Ugh. We'll take that face-off just outside the Pittsburgh defensive zone. Face-offs are once again +2 to the Penguins. An 18, though, is going to be an inferior right defenseman win. That's over to White once I figure out where I sent the block, and we're off and running once again. He'll lose that over to Orpik. Orpik's got it for Pittsburgh. Lose the puck, outside shot only for White. White's going to let that go from the point. That's a 9. That's a goalie rating on Johnson. That's an 8. Save made, and they'll give that over to Orpik. Orpik for Pittsburgh. Opponent defense 5. White, that'll be an outside shot for Guerin. Guerin's going to try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Stahan. Stahan for Calgary. Passing D. That'll be an inside shot for Iginla. Dupuis will try to intimidate. Dupuis will take the puck away from Iginla. Dupuis with it. Opponent defense 2. Iginla will take the puck away with an inside shot. Dupuis will try to intimidate again. He will intimidate. Dupuis will take the puck away. Dupuis got it. Outside shot only for anybody. He will give that over to Crosby. Crosby will let that go from the point. That's a 6. That's a goalie rating on Kiprusoff. That's a 7. Score! Sidney Crosby giving the Penguins a 2-0 lead here in the second. Arena groans. Ugh. That'll be Crosby from Dupuis. And we'll flip over another card to get an assist, if we can. Any player at a 7? No. Well, Crosby's a 7, but he's the one who scored. See previous statement for Crosby, not on the right wing. Gonchar will get the other assist. As the Penguins now open up a 2-0 lead here in the second, just in time for a forwards line change. And now we'll bring the teams back to center ice, where faceoffs are even. A 19 is going to be a visitor win. That'll go up to Ponikarovsky, and we're off once again. He'll lose that over to Kotelik. Kotelik with it for Calgary. Calgary needs to get on the board. Inside shot for anybody. The opponent can try to intimidate. They'll give that to White. Orpik will try to intimidate. Orpik will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Orpik's got it for Pittsburgh. Opponent defense 8. White will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He will let that go. That's a 10. He'll lose that over to Malkin. Malkin for Pittsburgh. Inside shot for anybody. Opponent can try to intimidate. Malkin will take that himself. Lenkow will try to intimidate. He will intimidate. Lenkow will take the puck away for Calgary. Outside shot only for anybody. He will give that to Kotelik. Kotelik will take the outside shot. That's a 4. That's a goal on a 1. And no. Johnson will get that one. He'll freeze it, and we'll get the face-off. We'll take that face-off to the left of Johnson. Just in time for a defenseman line change, though. Okay. Face-offs remain even. A 5 will be a home win. That'll go over to the home left defenseman, over to Bouwmeester, and we're off. Opponent defense 5. Letang, that'll be an outside shot for Kotelik. Kotelik will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck. Any defensive player has control. Pittsburgh will give that to Malkin. Opponent defense 3. That'll be an inside shot for Ponikarovsky. Right defenseman is Giordano. He will try to intimidate. He'll take the puck away, but a possible penalty. 1-12 on Giordano. There's no penalty. That's an 8. Giordano will have the puck and will play on. Inside shot for anybody. Opponent can try to intimidate. He will give that to... Lenkow. Malkin is not going to try to intimidate. He's a 1-9 on the intimidation. So Giordano will Lenkow will take his inside shot. That's a 10. That's a goalie rating on Johnson. That's a 9. Score! David Lenkow gets the Flames on the board and cuts the Penguins' lead in half, 2-1. Arena cheers. Yay! That'll be Lenkow from Kotelik. And we'll flip over a card to get an assist. Any player with an 8? No. Center 4? No. Well, center's the one who scored. Right defenseman? Yes. That'll be from Kotelik and Giordano. As the Flames have now cut this lead in half for the Penguins. We'll bring the face-off back to center ice. Face-offs remain even. A 12 will be visitors any player. That'll be over to Fedotenko, and we will be off and running. Passing E for Fedotenko. That'll be an outside shot for Malkin. Malkin will try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot right back to Fedotenko. He's going to let that go from the slot. That's a 9. Save made, and over to Giordano. Giordano with Calgary looking for the equalizer. Passing E. That'll be an outside shot for Langkow. Langkow will try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Hagman. Hagman will let that go from the slot. That's a 6. Save made, and over to Malkin just in time for a forwards line change. Stahl has it for Pittsburgh now. Passing E. That'll be an outside shot for Cook. Cook's going to try to make a pass. Passing K. He'll lose the puck over to Conroy. Conroy for Calgary. Opponent defense 6. Stahl will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Cook. Cook's going to let that go from the slot. That's an 11. Save made by Kiprusoff, and over to Giordano. Giordano for Calgary. Losing the puck, outside shot only for Kennedy. Kennedy will let that go. That's a 4. Save made, over to Bouwmeester. Bouwmeester's got it for Calgary. Opponent defense 8. Letang will take the puck away, outside shot only. He lets that go from the point. That's a 5. Save made, and up to Mayers. Mayers for Calgary. Opponent defense 3. Cook will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. Passing L. He'll lose that over to Dawes. Dawes with it for Calgary. Losing the puck. Outside shot only. Outside shot for anybody. They'll give that to Kennedy. And Dawes will try to intimidate. Dawes will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Dawes with it for Calgary. Passing E. Outside shot for Mayers. Mayers is going to try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck. Cook is in control for Pittsburgh. Cook's got it. Looking at passing F. He will lose the puck. Outside shot for Conroy. Conroy's going to throw this at the net. That's a 7. He'll lose that over to Kennedy. Kennedy for Pittsburgh. Looking at passing D. Outside shot for Stahl. Stahl's going to try to make a pass. Passing K. That'll be an inside shot for Cook. Cook's going to let that go from the slot. That's a 5. Save made, and over to Mayers. Mayers for Calgary. Passing F. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for the right wing. Kennedy is going to throw it at the net as the period's ticking down. That's a 6. Save made over to the defensive left wing. That would be Dawes, but there's the horn to end the second period. And after 2, it is now Pittsburgh 2, Calgary 1. It is still very much anybody's game. I'm just checking my phone because it is Thursday night and I am running laundry as usual. And I'm going to start getting things start setting up for the third period. I mentioned that we've got a doozy of a game tomorrow. So tomorrow night we'll be back to Inside the Crease Hockey for Block 27 of this season replay. We will also be at the Joe in Detroit, Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, for a Central Division matchup as the division-leading Chicago Blackhawks will be in town to take on the Detroit Red Wings. So that should be a good one tomorrow night. I'll go ahead and do line changes heading into the third period before I start setting up the decks, or before I start setting up the action deck. But I also know I'm going to be having to go turn laundry very shortly here, which I will probably do that before the start of the third period. Well, I'll have to get one load before the start of the third period. Actually, that first load's ready to get it now. So I will start building the action deck. And then before we start the third period, I'm going to step away for a minute so I can go get my laundry. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defensemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And before we drop the puck to start the third period, I will be right back. Dave's Board Gaming is first to join us here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. And yes, indeed, that was a good second period with both teams scoring. And to be perfectly honest, Dave, I was expecting this to be kind of a blowout based on where the two teams are at in terms of the standings. But Calgary so far hanging tough with Pittsburgh. We'll see how long that lasts, though. Face-offs are +2 to Pittsburgh. And we are all set to start the third period, so let's drop the puck. A 10 will be a superior right wing win, so that's over to Guerin, and we're off and running for the third period. Possible breakaway, uh-oh. Right defenseman, if the breakaway penetration rating is 4, it's a 3, so Regier will be in control of that for Calgary. Not anymore, he'll lose that over to Gonchar. Gonchar with that, opponent defense 5. Looking at Regier, he'll take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Bork. Bork will let that go from the slot. That's a 9. Save made and over to Guerin. Guerin with it for Pittsburgh. Outside shot only for anybody. He will give that over to Crosby. Crosby will let that go. 5 is a save made and over to Stahan. Stahan for Calgary is in control of it. Inside shot for anybody. They will give that to... They'll actually have Stahan take that shot himself. Crosby will not try to intimidate. Stahan will let the inside shot go. 9 is a goalie rating on Johnson. That's a 4. Johnson will make a great save. He'll cover that up and we'll get the face-off. We'll take that face-off to the right of Johnson. Face-offs remain +2 to the Penguins. Once I clean a little bit of dust off my glasses here. A 1 will be a superior win all day long. That'll go over to Orpik for Pittsburgh. And we're off and running once again. That'll be opponent defense 9. White will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He'll let that go from the point. That's a 10. He'll lose that over to Crosby. Crosby with it for Pittsburgh. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Stahan. Stahan will let that fly. That's a 9. Save made and over to Dupuis. Dupuis with it for Pittsburgh. Looking at opponent defense 9. Iginla will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He'll let that go from the point. That's a 6. That's a goalie rating on Johnson. That's a 5. Save made. And Johnson will give that over to Guerin. Guerin for Pittsburgh. We'll lose that over to Bork. Bork's got it. Opponent defense 2. That'll be an inside shot for Stahan. Right defenseman Gonchar, he will try to intimidate. 14 just barely intimidates, but just barely counts to take the puck away. And we've got a forwards line change. Gonchar in control of the puck for the Penguins. Looking at opponent defense 6. Reger will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Kotelik. Kotelik will let that one go from the slot. That's a 3. Save made and over to Orpik. Orpik with it for Pittsburgh. Inside shot for anybody. Opponent can try to intimidate. They'll give that to Malkin. Langkow will try to intimidate. He will intimidate, but take the puck away by the possible penalty. 1 to 15, no penalty. That is a 15, so Langkow skirting the edge a little bit, but he gets away with one and will play on. He'll lose that over to Malkin. Malkin with it for Pittsburgh. Opponent defense 1. Langkow will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for, if I can ever find the block, for Hagman. Hagman lets that go from the slot. That's a 6. Save made by Johnson. Back over to Malkin. Malkin looking at it for Pittsburgh. Losing the puck. Outside shot only for White. White will let that go from the point. That's a 4. Save made over to Ponikarovsky. And we've got a defenseman line change. And that is Ponikarovsky with the puck now for the Penguins. Opponent defense 3. Kotelik will surrender an inside shot to Fedotenko. Left defenseman is Bouwmeester. He will try to intimidate. 5 will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Right defenseman, if the breakaway penetration rating is 4, it is not. So Eaton will have control of that for the Penguins. Passing F. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Langkow. Langkow will try to make a pass. Inside shot for Hagman. He's going to let that go from the slot. That's a 9. Save made and over to Fedotenko. Fedotenko's got it. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot only for Hagman. Hagman will throw that one at the net from the point. That's a 2. Uh-oh. That's a goal on a 1 to 12. And no! Johnson makes a huge save on that one. And there's a flurry of sticks trying to get it down, but they'll get the whistle, and that'll be a face-off. Arena groans. Ugh. We'll take that face-off to the left of Johnson once I clean my glasses, because these are kind of bothering me a little bit now. So bear with me just a second. Much better. Face-offs are even right now. 14 will be a visitor right defenseman when that's over to Letang in the offensive zone, and we're off once again. Passing D for Letang. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Langkow. Langkow will throw that at the net. That's a 7. Save made in order to Fedotenko, just in time for a forwards line change. Now getting into the later stages of the third period. Can Pittsburgh hold on? Kennedy with it for the Penguins. Losing the puck, possible breakaway. Uh-oh. That's the right wing. That's Mayers. He's in on Johnson all alone. What can he do with this breakaway? That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. Defense, any player. Getting back for that will be Letang. He'll make a huge stop. He'll make a huge play to stop the breakaway, and he'll have that for the Penguins. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for Mayers. He will let that go from the point. 7. He'll lose that over to Stahl. Stahl with it for Pittsburgh. Inside shot for anybody. Opponent can try to intimidate. They'll give that to Kennedy. Dawes will try to intimidate. Dawes will intimidate, but a possible penalty. 1 to 15, no penalty. That's a 6. Dawes will have it. We'll play on. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot only for Kennedy. Kennedy will let that go. That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. This is how trouble starts. Defensive center, defense rating 3 or more. Conroy is a 3. He will have that rebound for Calgary. Opponent defense 11. And, a penalty on Stahl. 1, 2, 3. Flipping that over, we'll see what kind of power play Calgary is going to have. 10 is checking the right wing's defense. He's a 3. So 2 or more. We'll start off with an outside shot for the left wing. That's over to Dawes first. An 11. Save made to the defensive right wing. Outside shot for the center. That's Conroy next. 6 would be lost over the defensive left defenseman. Outside shot for Mayers. That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. Offensive lefty, if offense rating 3 or more. Bouwmeester is a 3. He'll have a rebound shot. That's a 5. Save made. And the last play of the power play is an inside shot for the right wing. So that's back up to Mayers on an inside shot. Calgary needs the equalizer. That's a 4. That won't help them get it. That'll be a save made by Johnson and over to the defensive left defenseman. Arena groans. Ugh. We'll take that face-off just outside the Pittsburgh zone. Calgary Kiprusoff will come to the net while we've got a stoppage of play, and we will have the extra attacker out for Calgary. Face-offs right now are even. A 9 will go over to the home left wing. That's over to Dawes, and we're off and running once again. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for anybody. That will be... They'll give that to Eaton from the point. That's a 10. Save made and over to Mayers. Mayers with it for Calgary. Inside shot for the left defenseman. That's over to Bouwmeester. Right wing is Kennedy. He will try to intimidate. He will intimidate, take the puck away, and... Brrr! There is my ever-lousy goal horn to signal the end of the game as Pittsburgh holds on for a scoreless third period, but they will take a 2-1 victory here in Calgary. Arena groans. Ugh. I'm going to get my ticker ready here, which I've got everything digitally. Hold on. Here we go. All right. There we go. 2, 1. And as usual on this replay, I'm going to clean up first, and then we'll see how the rest of the NHL fared, thanks to our friends at Downey Games and Final Score Hockey. So bear with me while I do my cleanup here. Actually, before I go too far, okay. Actually, hold on a second. Okay, yeah. Other load of laundry is ready to pick up, but I'll deal with that after we get done with Final Score Hockey. And indeed, Penguins with the win. They hold on through the empty net attack, but they do get a 2-1 victory out of this one tonight. That's got to be the folder. The logos are in here. Okay, good. And the nice thing about having the electronic scoreboard is now that tonight's feature game is in the books, I can just press a couple buttons, and hey, look at that. I'm all set in case I need the scoreboard again to track a shootout score. But let's see how the rest of the NHL fared, and to do that, we're going to ask our friends at Downey Games using Final Score Hockey to help us out with that. First up here on January 13th, 2010, we've got the Bruins and the Ducks. Boston with a G26, that is 2. Anaheim, M43, that is 4. Anaheim will take a 4-2 victory. Washington at Florida. Capitals, P35, holy cow. P35 is 4. Panthers, H46, that is 3. That'll be a pressure situation for Florida. Florida is an E under pressure. An E13 will do absolutely diddly squat for the Panthers. The Capitals will take a 4-3 victory back to DC. Canucks and the Wild. Vancouver, L26, that is 3. Minnesota, J54, that is 4. That is a pressure situation for Vancouver. Vancouver is a B under pressure. B51 won't do anything for Vancouver, though. Minnesota will take a 4-3 victory. Sabres and the Thrashers. Buffalo, I-63 is 4. Atlanta, K63, that is 5. That's a pressure situation for Buffalo. The Sabres are a C under pressure. A C11 will do absolutely squat for the Sabres. Atlanta will take a 5-4 victory. Blue Jackets and the Blackhawks will see Chicago on the board tomorrow. Columbus, E32, that is 2. Chicago, L22, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Columbus is an E. Chicago is a B. An E23 will do as much for Columbus as a B16 will for Chicago, which means we're going to overtime. Chicago with the chance to win first. Blackhawks with an L33 can't do anything with it, like the Blue Jackets can't with an E45, which means we've got ourselves a shootout, and that's where the handy-dandy scoreboard comes in. Both teams are Ds in the shootout, round 1. Both teams will score in the shootout, round 2. Both teams will score again, round 3. Next unanswered goal wins it, which Chicago will get. They will win that one 3-2 in the shootout. Hurricanes and the Red Wings. Detroit will see them on the board tomorrow as well. Carolina. G14 is 1. Detroit, H32. That is 2. And that'll be a pressure situation for Carolina. Carolina is an E under pressure. An E36 won't do anything for Carolina. Detroit will take a 2-1 victory. We are on January 14th, by the way. Pittsburgh in Edmonton on a Canadian road trip from the looks of it. Penguins, J24, that is 2. Edmonton, G65, that is 5. And Edmonton will take a 5-2 victory away from Pittsburgh. Anaheim at Los Angeles. Wow, this is going to be a high-scoring game. Ducks, G65 is 5. Kings, J61, that is 4. Pressure situation for LA. LA is a C under pressure. C66 might do something for the Kings, but an E34 for the Ducks won't let them stop the Kings. LA ties the game with the net empty, which means that we are going to overtime, and Los Angeles will have a chance to win first as soon as I do a little bit of updating in the ticker. A J16 won't do it for LA. Neither will a G51 for Anaheim, which means we've got ourselves another shootout. Both teams are a D in the shootout, round 1. Anaheim will score, Los Angeles will not, round 2. Anaheim will, actually both teams will score there. Round 3. If Anaheim scores here or LA doesn't, this one's over. Anaheim will score, which means they'll get the win. They'll get that win 6-5 in the shootout. Dallas and Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Wow, this is going to be another high-scoring game. Stars, I-66 is 5. Canadiens, G65, that is also 5. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are E's under pressure. Stars can do as much with an E21 as Montreal can with an E31, which means we are going to overtime. Montreal will have a chance to win first. Which a G23 won't do for Montreal. Neither will an I-24 for Dallas. We've got our third shootout on the night already. Both teams are D's in shootout, round 1. Dallas will score, Montreal will not, round 2. Dallas will score again, round 3. Dallas technically has the win locked up, so this round is just for show more than anything. Montreal will score, but it's too late as Dallas will take that one 6-5 in the shootout. Senators and the Rangers. Wow. Low scoring game this time. Senators, G12, that is 1. Rangers, H16, that is 2. That'll be a pressure situation for Ottawa. The Senators are a C under pressure. A C, this one's cocked, but I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, not really going to matter. Senators with a C63 might be able to score, but the Rangers with an E66, they'll get a huge save with the net empty, and the Rangers will take that one from the Senators 2-1. Devils and the Coyotes. Devils, E31 is 2. Coyotes, K12, that is 1. That's a pressure situation for Phoenix. The Coyotes are a B under pressure. A B43, though, won't do anything for Phoenix. Actually, hold on. A B54, That actually will let the Coyotes have a chance to score. New Jersey with a C-43 can't stop them. So Phoenix will actually tie the game with a net empty, which means we're going to overtime, and the Coyotes have a chance to win first. Which a K-63 will let them do easily. The Coyotes will take that win 3-2 in overtime. Boston in San Jose to play the Sharks. Bruins, E24, that is 1. Sharks, O55 is going to be a lot more than 1, that is 5. The Sharks will win that one 5-1. Wild and the Blues. Minnesota, G15 is 1. St. Louis, H44, that is 3. St. Louis will take a 3-1 victory. Matchup of Florida, Panthers and the Lightning. Panthers, G16 is 1. Tampa Bay, H32, that is 2. Pressure situation for the Panthers. The Panthers are an E under pressure. An E61 just barely as a miss for Florida. The Lightning will take that win 2-1. Flyers and the Maple Leafs. Flyers, J14 is 1. Maple Leafs, I61 is going to be a lot more than 1, that is 4. Maple Leafs will take that win 4-1. Only 2 games on January 15th. Predators at the Flames. Nashville, G14 is 1. Calgary, I54, that is 4. And the Flames will take that win 4-1. Maple Leafs and the Capitals. Maple Leafs, E13 is 0. Capitals, L15, that is 2. And the Capitals will take that one 2-0, almost sleepwalking. On to January 16th. Thrashers and the Hurricanes are both H's. Thrashers roll a 32, that is 2. Hurricanes roll a 14, that is 1. Pressure situation for Carolina. The Hurricanes are an E under pressure. But an 11 will do nothing for the Hurricanes. The Thrashers will take that one 2-1. Blackhawks and the Blue Jackets. Blackhawks, N42 is 4. Blue Jackets, I61, that is also 4. Pressure situations all around. Blackhawks are a B. Blue Jackets are an E. A B25 won't do anything for Chicago. Neither will an E54 for Columbus, which means we're going to overtime. Columbus with a chance to win first. An I31 for Columbus won't do it. Neither will an N31 for Chicago. Actually, an N32 for Chicago won't do it either, which means we've got yet another shootout on the block. Round 1. Both teams are C's in the shootout. Both teams will score as well in the shootout in round 1 of the shootout. Round 2. Both teams will score again. Round 3. Columbus will score, Chicago will not. The Blue Jackets will take that one 5-4 in a shootout. Devils and the Avalanche in a rematch of the 2000-2001 Stanley Cup Finals. Devils F11 is 0. Avalanche M66 is 8. Gee, I wonder who won that game 8-0. Colorado. Yeah, I know that was terrible. Give me a break. Red Wings and the Stars. Detroit will be on the board tomorrow night. Red Wings, H13, that is 1. Dallas, L65 is 7, and the Stars will blow the Red Wings out 7-1. Lightning and the Panthers as the Battle of Florida switches venues. Tampa Bay, I-36 is 3. Panthers, F-46 is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are E's under pressure. An E-26 won't do anything for Tampa Bay. Neither will a 51 for Florida, which means that game is going to overtime. Panthers with a chance to win first. An F-43 won't do it for Florida. Lightning with an I-62. That will get it done for Tampa Bay. They will take that win 4-3 in overtime. Bruins and the Kings. Bruins, E-34 is 2. Kings, N-43 is 4. The Kings will take that one 4-2. Senators and the Canadiens. Ottawa, G-23, that is 2. Montreal, H-32, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Senators are a C. Canadiens are an E. Senators with a C-25 can't do anything. Neither can the Canadiens with an E-44. This one is going to overtime. Montreal with a chance to win first. An H-34 won't do anything for Montreal. Neither will a G-41 for Ottawa, which means we have yet another shootout on the block. Both teams are C's in the shootout, round 1. Montreal will score, Ottawa will not, round 2. Both teams will score here, round 3. Ottawa has to score or it's over. Ottawa does score, Montreal doesn't. Next unanswered goal wins it, round 4. Both teams will score, round 5. Neither team will score, round 6. Oops, come on. Neither team will score, round 7. Ottawa will score, Montreal will not. So in round 7 of the shootout, the Senators will take a 3-2 victory. Sabres and the Islanders. Sabres, I-42, that is 3. Islanders, J-44 is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Buffalo's a C. The Islanders are an E. Oh boy, a C-62 for Buffalo gives them a chance to score. Islanders with an E-56. They can't stop the Sabres. Buffalo takes a 4-3 lead with their net empty. Now can the Islanders get the equalizer with their net empty? Not with an E-13 they can't. Buffalo will take a 4-3 victory just before overtime. Wild and the Coyotes. Wild apparently wanted this game. E-66 is 4. Coyotes, H-33, that is 2. The Wild will take a 4-2 victory. Oilers and the Sharks. Edmonton, E-22 is 1. San Jose, I-52, that is 4. San Jose will take a 4-1 victory. Rangers and the Blues. Rangers, G-42, that is 3. Blues, J-63, that is 5. St. Louis with a 5-3 victory. Last up in this block, Pittsburgh at Vancouver. Two very high-powered teams in this replay. Penguins, H34, that is 3. Vancouver, N41, that is 4. That's a pressure situation for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a C under pressure. C56 might let Pittsburgh score. Vancouver with a B12. They can't stop it. The Penguins will tie the game, and they'll force this one into overtime, where Vancouver will have a chance to win first. Canucks with an N25 can't get it done. Neither can the Penguins with an H13, which means our last game of this block is going to end with a shootout. Both teams are A's in the shootout. Round 1. Both teams will score in round 1. Round 2. This could very easily end up in will somebody please not score. We're sure headed for that. Round 3. And we're on the road to that. Both teams score again. Round 4. Round 5. You gotta be kidding me. Round 6. Seriously? Round 7. Round 8, anybody? Ay, ay, ay. Round 9. Probably headed for our longest shootout here. Good grief. Round 10. Okay, there we go. Thank goodness. Vancouver scored, Pittsburgh didn't, which means the Canucks get a 5-4 victory in one of the longest shootouts I've done in this replay. That is your final score hockey. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Before we get to tomorrow, though, and yes, indeed, that was shootout madness, I just got a delivery in that we're going to crack open on the channel. So let me get the dice tower. Actually, I can leave those dice in there, because for inside the crease, I don't need dice. But let's bring our delivery in shot. This is a delivery that just came in, and it's actually from Dave's Board Gaming. So, of course, I've covered the address, both of the relevant addresses. But it looks like you live only a couple hours away from me. Anyway, let's crack this open and we'll see what's in here. And for obvious reasons, I would prefer to do this without slicing myself. Had problems with that knife before. We'll get the void fill that we're greeted by out of shot. And we are greeted by more stuff for the Alien role-playing game. So we've got another set of the stress dice, because more dice is more good, especially if I think this is a game that has a decent chance of getting played with my group. Then on the base dice, a little bit mangled up here, but as long as everything seems to be intact, yep, everything looks good here, so I'm not inclined to call a big foul there. But we've also got the custom card deck for Alien the role-playing game. We'll take a look at the back of this. This box contains 55 high-quality custom cards designed for the official Alien role-playing game. The beautifully illustrated cards supplement play and enhance your experience. The deck contains 22 weapon cards, 20 character cards, 3 vehicle cards, and 10 initiative cards, so very cool. And thanks for sending me that stuff over, Dave. I do look forward to using it when I get Alien, the role-playing game, out onto the channel. But that is it for Block 26 of this 2009-10 hockey season replay. Quite busy coming up on the channel, as you can probably imagine. Tomorrow, we will be at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan for Block 27, as the Chicago Blackhawks will be taking on the Detroit Red Wings in Central Division action. Let's see if anything changed there. Red Wings dropped into third place in the division, so that could impact their playoff standings. As for what else is coming up on the channel, Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the recipes from the World of H.P. Lovecraft cookbook as we make the side, Howard's Potato Salad. And on Sunday, the 2025 Summer of Lovecraft against Yog-Sothoth will begin as we play the first leg of the campaign in Eldritch Horror. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone. The Pittsburgh Penguins walk into Calgary and manage to hold off the Calgary Flames by a final score of 2-1. Once again, take care, and I will see you guys at the Joe tomorrow night.